exhausting. I couldn't understand what they were saying half the time. They're all yelling over each other. It's like they're speaking a different language.
It is like they're speaking to, and I actually went back to watch the after show from the last, because there was only 10 after shows, but the last after show I hadn't seen, and they were talking about a bunch of different stuff. But watching the after show was even more of a disaster than watching this, because they're really talking over each other on the after show. Like, they're literally talking over each other. I'm like, what? Like, why is nobody in charge? Why is nobody in charge here on this after show? Like, somebody needs to tell them, one person talk at a time. Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion Part 2. I will have to say that I do not think we needed 3 parts of this reunion. I know I said it last week, but I'm reiterating it again this week.
Totally
It's
agree.
so dragged out.
So dragged out. Listen, at this point, I don't give a shit who brought Marcus on the show. We said it last week. As long as I never got to hear about Marcus or Junebug again, I'm all set.
Yeah.
Half the time when they're talking to each other, I don't even know what the hell they're saying. And I know it's just the way they throw shade, but I don't understand it, ladies. So either put some closed captioning on and tell us what you're really talking about, or slow down
Yeah, I
and
do
just
have
talk
to agree
normal.
with that, because we start out with the question is posed to Angela, why she's so sure that Phaedra is the one that paid Marcus. And Angela said because she wanted to secure her spot. Phaedra's like, my contract is secure. And Andy agreed, her contract is secure.
Do really think, you know how I feel. I
You
do
think-
think that Phaedra
Yeah.
had this bit and was like, hey,
I
you
don't
know,
think so.
but whatever.
I don't think so.
What is she talking about rooms though?
Wait, we didn't get there yet. Angela
That
said
was the next thing I had.
Angela said that the name Junebug, because they're like, who's Junebug? Well, that was to protect his sister or aunt. Phaedra said that, you know, she doesn't know him. Angela's like, well, he knows your brother, and you went to your brother went to high school with him. And she's like, I don't know everyone my brother and I don't knows. So she's like, Porsha, let me have your phone. I don't have my phone. Let me call my brother right now on speaker. And Andy's like, was he going to answer? She's like, yeah, he'll answer. I'm like thinking he might answer if you called him, but he's going to answer if Porsha calls him. Like, would you answer? I think that's
Maybe.
the first thing I'm thinking.
Porsha can be very persuasive.
But does he know it's her? So anyway, he answers a phone call and he's like, no, I don't know. I don't know this person. She says the name. They blank it out. And they're like, well, you're friends with her. She's like, I'm friends with a million people on Facebook. I don't know them all. Like, that means nothing. I 100% agree with him. Like, that means nothing. I think Phaedra made her point there. But then Angela goes on to say, well, you don't know Charles. And Phaedra's like, I do know Charles. I've met Charles. Angela says, no, you don't. And that's when they start talking about, they go back and forth with the rooms. Phaedra's like, well, I'm in all the rooms. And she's like, well, you're not in the rooms that he's in. And she's like, well, I'm in the rooms with Emmy and Oscar winners. Maybe you need to get yourself in those rooms. She's like, well, maybe you were breaking into those rooms. And they're going back and forth about these rooms.
What are they talking about?
I mean, I think that at this point, I think they're talking about in circles of people. You're not in the same circles. I think that's what they're talking about. I mean,
and they talk about hands. Like,
yeah. So then Angela said, you sent someone up to me that day that said that you have hands. And Drew's like, well, that's a threat. Phaedra said, you said I sent someone over to threaten you. And Andy asked Cynthia if she thinks that Phaedra set this up. But the whole thing about the hands and the threatening, like, I don't think that happened either. I think it was a threat. I think she's alluding that it was a threat, but I don't think that there was ever a threat. I think that that's how Phaedra operates. Cynthia said, like, if Angela set this up, like, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened on any friend. And I agree with that. Yeah, I agree.
I don't think Angela set it up.
Angela set it up either. So he asked Kelly, like, what does she think? And they're like, well, first we thought Kelly did it because it was her party that he showed up at. And Angela's like, Phaedra told me his name and where he works. She's still, sticking by that.
That's a little strange that Phaedra knew where he worked.
I mean, it's not that hard. I don't think Atlanta's that big. Once she knew his name, it wasn't that hard to figure out where he worked.
I don't know.
I mean, he works at a
I would just
restaurant.
personally don't trust Phaedra, but but thank God Andy's like, let's move on.
Yeah,
I
he's
could
like,
not
"Let's
have
move
agreed
on."
more with Andy.
Right. And he asks Angela where she stands with all the women in the group, and she thinks that there's, things that need to be ironed out, but she thinks that they can move forward. All right, I'm glad to hear that. Then Kelly feels the need to jump in and make sure that Angela doesn't think that she compared her marriage to hers. But then they show us every clip where she did actually compare her marriage to Angela's.
Yeah, because that's when she was doing Brit's, dirty
Right.
work.
Right. And she at the end, she's like, listen, I don't remember saying that. If I did say that, I apologize. Okay, great. Now we can move forward from that. That we really
Yes,
didn't
thank
even need to
you.
talk about it. I thought it was funny that a viewer asked Angela that she's a beautiful woman, but they do not believe her age. Angela pulls out her birth certificate. Who shows up with their birth certificate at the reunion? Angela does.
That's
That's
pretty
who.
amazing.
I mean, that's a receipt of all receipts to go show
As a
up,
receipt of all receipts.
right? To show up with your birth certificate. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
we find out
Nice job, Angela.
her middle name is Dion, and she was born in 1981. So
Mhm.
she, in fact, is 43. Okay, good for
She said
you.
her nose job is from 2017 because Charles got it.
Yep, she tells us that too. Yep, it was not a retro 90s nose like Shamea claimed it was.
Right.
Then a viewer asks her about her hotness. It's not just about her physical appearance, but it's probably perimenopause. And she's like, yeah, I think it is. Like, and almost like apologetic about it. And they're like, yes, so what if it is? Like, that's something that happens, you know? And
Yeah,
she's
once you're
like,
done having your kids after a couple of years of not reproducing, right?
yeah, it's
Your
fair. Yeah.
body's like, all right, well, we don't need these ovaries anymore.
Yep. And listen, when your hormones are out of whack, it causes a lot of havoc in you, right?
Right.
So
Right.
she brings up that she's starting the fan line, Fangie. So I guess that is a real thing. That's why she's starting the fan line.
That's what she said. That's
Yes.
what she was talking about.
Yes.
I never put two and two together.
Yeah. So that's yeah. So good for her.
Fangie.
Fangie.
Good for her.
Yep.
I'll buy one. I'll support you, Angela.
Then Andy asks her about the rental properties. And Angela said, well, after getting the foreclosure notices and everything going on with her mom passing, and she's over $100,000. And, she's like, I'm just going to have to walk away from it. And I don't blame her. There comes a
You
point
know how her mom passed away?
we don't know. No, I don't think we do. It
Because she
was
mentioned that she had bipolar disorder and that
right.
she was looking forward to talking about that on the show and bringing more awareness to it. I just didn't
Yeah.
know.
No, we don't know how she passed away. We don't. The ladies were very, sympathetic about that or about her mom passing, and so was Andy. Then they asked
And
Angela, a viewer
Phaedra
asked,
even said to Angela, like, I hope
yes,
you know when I reached out to you that that was real. And I believe that.
I believe
I
it was
believe
too.
that. Yeah.
Angela said, well, I hope it was. I think, listen, I would like for them to move forward, right? There's no
Yeah,
reason that they can't.
absolutely.
Just
It's
let it go and
stupid.
move forward.
Yeah.
A viewer asked Angela if she felt like Drew had her back like she had hers, and Angela admits that she doesn't feel like Drew had her back. And I agree I really don't think that Drew had her back like Angela had Drew's.
She definitely did not.
Drew tries to kind of explain it away, but she winds up apologizing, Then she apologizes, but part of her apology is like, well, if I didn't have your back, maybe it's because of everything I was going through with the divorce with Ralph. And that's where Shamea jumps in and says, listen, why can you use your divorce as an excuse? But when I tried to tell you guys to like lay off Phaedra or Porsha, she's going through stuff, her divorce. Why was that me being her lapdog? Because she did. I mean, Shamea did say many times, like, even when the whole thing about when Kelly brought up about did you take that woman's man? Shamea said, well, if you have that question, ask Porsha. She wasn't saying
Yeah.
that. She wasn't saying that to be shady. She was saying that because she didn't want to have a conversation about her friend, right?
Right.
She didn't
Right.
expect Kelly to do it at Shamea's birthday party. Like, that's not where she expected it to happen. And she also, like I said to you in the beginning, I don't think Porsha wanted that story to come. Like, I don't think she wanted that fight to come out. But then when it came out
Right.
like it did, that's kind of when she kind of went towards Drew, because it all happened at the same time. that the
Yeah.
Drew thing and the dentist thing came up. Like, it all happened at Shamea. Everything happened. This all started at Shamea's birthday party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andy asked Phaedra why she felt the need to give Britt some advice in Grenada. And Phaedra said that she really thought that she was self-sabotaging. And all the women agreed. Like, it was very, like, we've never seen a veteran give advice like this on camera to a newbie. Because even Portia's like, you pulled me aside and
Cynthia and Nene talked to her
Nene.
off camera.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that they all did that for her and she still did the things that she did is just, it's mind-blowing, to be honest with you.
I think she was, after the whole Kenya thing, I think she was just, I don't know. She spiraled. She definitely spiraled.
She definitely spiraled. Shamea tells Phaedra that the whole time, like, you're trying to help her, she's throwing you under the bus. You and Porsha. Like, she wasn't your friend. Like, don't think that, she was your friend.
Right.
And that's what, Phaedra tells her. Okay, viewer asked Porsha why she was able to forgive Phaedra so easily and not Shamea. And Porsha said, well, there was a lot of time in between the incident with her and Phaedra. And then they sat down and they had a conversation, which I believe that. I mean, there was quite a bit of time. And it wasn't as personal either. Phaedra's,
Wow. But it was what Phaedra said about Candy and
I know, but I'm
Porsha?
saying it wasn't as personal. Like the fight between Porsha and Shamea is a personal fight. Like it's
because of
personal
their
to them.
long
Because
friendship.
of their long
But
friendship.
I mean, my God, what Phaedra said about Candy and Todd, that's criminal.
I understand it's criminal, but again, Porsha just repeated it. Like, it's not
Right.
like
Oh, yeah.
it's not like it affected her to her, like, her core, like this
Yeah.
other fight did. I'm not saying it
Yeah.
wasn't a horrible thing. I'm just saying that it wasn't as personal to her. So then Shamea, I guess I didn't realize that all this was going on. So Shamea felt a way about Phaedra because back in 2017, there was a clip where Phaedra said to Porsha, people are saying she's sleeping with everybody's husband. Why isn't anybody talking about that? Now, Shamea was upset that Porsha didn't have her back on camera for that statement back in 2017.
Who said that? Who said that?
Phaedra said that to Porsha,
about Shamea.
About Shamea on camera.
That Shamea was sleeping with everybody's husband.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why Shamea had a problem with Phaedra, is because of that.
Okay.
But she, more importantly, had the problem with Porsha because she felt like she didn't have her back. But we didn't really know that's what was going on.
Because I actually have that written down. Like, I don't know what's going on between Phaedra and Shamea right now. And I wasn't watching the show at that time. I had stopped watching the show.
Yeah. I mean, if they didn't play back that flashback clip of 2017, I wouldn't have known it either. But once they played it back, I was like, all right, well, that explains it. So what happened was Porsha says to Shamea, but we sat down because Shamea's other big, point of contention was that she didn't feel like Porsha was celebrated her getting her peach. And Portia's like,
Right.
but I did. I called you. I was, she's like, yeah, but she didn't feel like she was getting what she wanted, right, from her.
She didn't take her out and celebrate.
Right. But it all goes back to this stupid thing that Phaedra said. And then when she found out Phaedra was coming on the show, Phaedra's like, you and I sat down and we talked about it. And, I apologized. Like, I didn't think it was a big deal because you kind of brushed it under the rug, And she's like, well, yeah, because of course I'm going to make it seem like it's nothing. You're saying I'm cheating on my husband and I'm, unfaithful. So I don't want it to be a big thing. But deep down in her heart, it really bothered her because it came up again when they were at Portia's hair, her sheet line. And she was doing the thing with the sheets.
Yeah.
And it came up that Porsha didn't have her back then. And that's when Shamea admits that's when she found out this season that the reason Porsha didn't go to her wedding in Kenya is because she was actually mad at her. Wasn't because
Porsha
of a medical
didn't say
condition.
That back then. She said a medical condition. I remember
She said a medical condition. So all of this going back and forth actually is very confusing. And the way it all comes...
I couldn't follow.
It's very confusing. And again, I've watched this one from the very beginning.
Yeah, you never took a break. I watched it from the beginning, but I took a break.
Yeah, no, I never took a break. But they don't tell you exactly, and until they start giving you bits and pieces, I was like, oh, okay, now I know what this is about. So
But come
that's
on, like you're holding on to this shit for so long, and then you're not saying what it is, but you're trying to be on a show together. Like that's just stupid. And it seems like they're all doing it. Shamea's doing it, Portia's doing it. Like, what are you doing?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, because even Angela and Cynthia kind of jump in, like, this is still bothering Shamea because she brought it up again. And Cynthia's like, you can't do that. Like, your feelings are valid. You have to let them know what your feelings are. And Phaedra's like, listen, can we move forward? Will you accept my apology? And Shamea finally says yes. And if someone asks me about this in the future, I'll say that we've resolved it and we're moving forward. Because what happened was Phaedra thought it was resolved because she spoke to her about it. But then she would get asked in interviews and on podcasts, like, what's going on? And she would kind of shade the situation. She wouldn't say that, we resolved the issue. So Shamea accepts the apology. They're moving forward. Then we see they're on break and Shamea is talking to Gerald and thanks him for the flowers. So I guess he's not coming. I don't know.
No, I have that written down. Why is he not?
Maybe because he's got to be with the baby, Shiloh? I don't know.
Maybe.
Or maybe he just wants no part of this insanity, which I could see that too.
I don't blame him.
I don't
Good
either.
job, Gerald.
Yeah, I don't
Good
either.
choice. But Dennis is there.
And so is
Don't
Charles.
think Dennis is sleeping on the reunion.
And neither's Ralph.
Oh, no, Ralph's not sleeping on the reunion.
Right? Dennis comes in and Porsha asks him if he's going to drop any bombs. And he's like, nope, he's not coming in with any bombs.
Yeah, we'll see.
Shamea and Kelli are both upset that Britt stirred up all this stuff and then she's not there to talk about it. And I have to agree with them. She did stir up a lot of
totally.
shit.
Well, then Andy read Kenya's tweet about not being there and taking accountability. And then he read Britt's message stating that the photo wasn't her. And she seeks accountability. Again, Britt, if that's not you in that picture, there's no lawsuit.
Right.
So
what
which is
it? Yeah, what accountability is it you're seeking?
Is it you?
Right.
And you're suing, or is it not you? And this is a frivolous lawsuit and it'll be thrown out. Well, I guess we'll see.
We're going to have to wait and see because then after Andy reads them, he asks any reactions. And Shamea's like, it's mind blowing. After it all played out, it turned out not to be her. And she said maybe she already knew that because that night after it happened, they went out and she was very happy. She didn't seem devastated, which I thought, well, that's odd.
Yeah,
right?
That was odd. Yep.
I mean, because the next day we see her, or 2 days later, and, she's coming over with the IV drips and all that. So, like, which is it?
As if she was just devastated by this.
Right. Couldn't get out of bed.
Who said
kind
it?
of thing.
Shamea? She went out that night and she was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought, well, that's odd.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So then Kelli said, well, I tried to support her in every way that I can. And Andy said, well, when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she was vehement that Kenya had been coming after her this whole season. And Andy asked, like, did anyone else get that impression? And they're all like, no. Everyone said no. Nobody got that impression.
And we didn't think it either. Like, even that first scene where she was asking, she was like, you're married. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a wedding ring or is that? And you could tell right away, Britt put that wall up and she got a little attitude. And that's when Kenya was like, oh, is that from your first marriage or your second? Like, it just takes a second to get Kenya into that spot. But she wasn't coming. I mean, she had it was a big, beautiful diamond ring. That could mean that you're just engaged.
Right, right.
It doesn't have to mean that, but it could mean that. So why are you so insulted by that?
Exactly. And then Angela says, well, that's why I wrote that question at the bank, because Kenya would have had no clue that, like, it went that way, that Britt thought that Kenya was coming for her, because that's not what was happening. But that's also where it went south with the whole pistol thing.
Right.
A viewer asked Cynthia why she has so much grace and empathy for Britt, but not for Kenya. And I think that Cynthia answered this perfectly fine. She said, that's not true. I didn't agree with what Kenya's choice was and how she responded.
She says she hasn't spoken to her since.
Right. And she'd mentioned that on her humble brag, that she reached out to her and she hasn't responded. And listen, I applaud her. I wouldn't compromise my integrity either. If a friend of mine did something I didn't agree with, I'm going to tell them, I don't agree with what you've done. That's it.
It's just interesting, though, because Porsha said she's talked to her and she's disappointed in Kenya, and Kenya regrets doing it. So if you regret doing it, why would you not talk to Cynthia for calling you out for doing the wrong thing?
I
It's
don't know.
interesting that she'll talk to Porsha, but she won't talk to Cynthia.
Cynthia. Yeah.
Maybe because Cynthia was so outspoken about it on camera that night. Like, you're better than this, Kenya. Maybe
Maybe,
that's
but
why?
again, I think what she did was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So then Portia said after Britt mentioned the pistol, that's when we had a loose cannon, and that loose cannon was Kenya. She's like, I knew that Kenya was going to retaliate. And
Yeah.
I knew that she received some information from another cast member. And I knew that she got the pictures and the videos, and I was trying to help her shape how she was going to put it out there. She's like, when I showed up there and I saw it, she was shocked herself. And Shamea's like, well, wait a second. You just said it came from a cast member. Who did it come from? I'm surprised that Andy didn't ask that question.
Right.
Right. And she's like, well, Drew. And Drew's like, I didn't do that. And this is where I'm confused. Portia said she said Drew sent her the information. Drew said, I don't like my name being thrown out. I don't know where she got that information. Portia said, when I talked to Kenya about it, she said it was Drew. But then after she said, we never said Drew. So first she said it was Drew. And then when she had a conversation with her later, she said, no, I never said it was Drew. So what is it? Like,
I don't know. Like I said last week, I think Portia's getting caught in a couple of lies.
yeah. She said to Cynthia, I don't know how you feel about it, but, I was pissed. And Cynthia said, yeah, I was, didn't think that she should act that way. And Andy talked about us getting to know Shamea. We previously only knew her as Portia's ride or die. Then we see a bunch of clips of Shamea, living her best life. And we see the clip at the villa in Grenada when Britt gives that speech about how she's going to be there for her. And, when she found out about Shiloh. And then when they get to the finale, she throws it in her face that she was lying, that you lied
Yeah.
about your daughter.
Yeah.
You were out doing shots. I'm like, what? Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. No, nobody would lie about that. That was not a lie.
No. And listen, she was on vacation. She had a layover coming home. Let the girl do some shots. She's stressed out. She
Right.
knows what she's going home to.
Right.
Let her do some
Exactly.
shots if that's how she wants to deal with it.
Yep. And then that's when Shamea starts crying. She's like, I've been able to handle infidelity rumors and my fractured friendship with Porsha, but when you start bringing my kids into it, it's like,
No.
I can't. Like, saying that I'm making this up, like, this is just, no, I can't do it. She understands that she's blessed that she even has her daughter there, because her daughter has gone through, I don't even know how many surgeries it is, because she said since she's been back from Grenada, it's been 2 more.
Right.
So
And
this
now
poor
she's getting
child,
tubes in her ears to help her hear better.
right? This poor child, because she's not speaking, right? She's got a lot of, challenges.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know why that Britt would just be so evil like that and bring that up. And,
Yeah.
they think it was because Britt thought Shamea sided with Kelli, and that was not the case. They also asked Shamea why she felt the need to have another baby, like have the surrogate, because the surrogate, she announced that there's a different surrogate. The other one, it didn't take. And they're, waiting to see, like, is there a mandate that, you have to produce a boy? And she's like, no, but my husband wants a boy, and I want to please my husband. And I think that that's the answer. Like, why does it have to be? And if she has
Yeah.
the means to do it and she can do it,
Right.
why not do it? Like, why question that? I think
And
some of these
like,
viewer
clearly
questions.
she has a stable marriage and her husband is extremely involved in her children's lives. And yeah, why? Yeah. Why is that even a question?
Yeah. I think that some of these viewer questions are very shady, and they should have never been asked. That's what I think.
Right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, why did Drew try to give Shamea the book, The 5 Love Languages? Because Drew
She
said
said
she
she
speaks
speaks
5
5
languages, and
languages.
Shamea says she doesn't. Got it.
Right. Right.
I like when Kelli grabbed the book. She's like, I'll take the book. I'm looking for love. I'll take the book.
And Drew's like, no, she needs to read the book. I don't know.
Drew's very defensive. Drew denies everything and just attacks anybody who brings anything up that she doesn't want to talk about. Right?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I in the past really liked Drew. I did not like Drew this season. I think that what she brought to the show was weak. I think it was
Yeah.
weak. I don't think there was a lot of truth in the whole her and Ralph situation.
I don't either.
maybe next week we'll see something different, but I don't think that there's a lot of truth in that situation. And I don't like that.
Especially since Ralph is sitting with Dennis. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Ralph is not even sitting behind her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think he should be sitting behind her because they are supposedly getting divorced, but still.
I know, I don't buy it.
And apparently everyone's friends with Ralph. That's what, Porsha said, right? Everyone's friends with Ralph.
Porsha believes that Shamea showed Britt the text
Yes.
when Andy brought that up. I
Yep.
mean, we saw it on her face. She's like, well, that was actually a conversation I had with my therapist, not, whoever Britt said it was. So
Right.
he recognized something that was in the text messages.
And Drew and Shamea are going back and forth about lying. And Drew says, well, tell me one time that I lied. And she said, well, you lied about the Judith Lieber bag. And she's like, what? And then they show us the clip of her at Kenya's house. And Kenya says, oh, you've got the Lieber. And she's like, yeah. And we see the clip that it's the Cosmopolitan bag and it retails for $57.95. And then she pulls out her fake one that she bought with the receipt for $130. And Porsha keeps saying, I want the fake one. I'll take the fake one. Andy's like, Porsha wants the fake one. Shamea's like, yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
Who cares if she's got a fake bag, though? Honestly,
I don't care. But to Shamea's point, if you're going to lie about the small stuff, you're certainly going to lie about the big stuff.
for sure.
And that was her point. That was her point.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. Yeah. Yeah.
Andy asked Porsha if she believed that Britt was being malicious when she showed her the text messages. Of course she was being malicious.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course
there's no
she
other
was.
way. There's no other way to look at that.
Right.
Shamea is saying that the only thing that in the text messages is something that I already said to Porsche. It was something that we already talked about. And that was whether or not they had celebrated her getting the peach. It had nothing to do with something that was said to a therapist. So again,
Right.
I don't know because that wasn't really clear.
Right.
Porsha said she was going through her own thing at the time, referring to her divorce with Simon. And then Porsha said, well, that's a lie. And they show the clips where they've all been talking about each other all season and all the seasons past. Andy asks them what the status of their relationship is right now. And the both of them are literally just sitting there in silence. And then all of a sudden, Portia's like, well, there's zero communication. Like they're not talking at all. And Andy said, well, you said that if she, reached out, like if she extended, you would move forward. And she sent you she put that nice post out about your birthday. And what did she say? She's like, well, yeah, where was it? She said, well, then the next day she started
a smear campaign.
Yeah, smear king.
She kept going with the smear campaign, which I mean, I saw a birthday post. I didn't see any smear campaign.
Well, she said she went on Candy's podcast and said, I didn't congratulate you. And then Candy said to her, well, did she call
Candy
you?
has a podcast?
She said Candy's show. Maybe, I don't know what show it is. Does she have a show? I don't know. I mean, she did used to have the YouTube channel thing. Whatever it was. And then she said, well, she didn't call you. And she's like, well, yeah, she called me. And then she went on Breakfast Club and she said that you had only one wedding. She's like, no, I had two weddings. And Porsha said, that's also a lie. And then Britt came and told me that this didn't. And when Britt came and told me about the text messages, she's like, I didn't go ballistic. She's like, I just kind of wanted to extend you the grace that I wish that you had extended me. And I agree with that. Like when she did see that, she did not go ballistic. We never saw a reaction to that. We really didn't. She said, I'll she started crying and she's like, I'll deal with this. She's like, I have to clear my name when you come on the show and you plan to sabotage me. There was a scheme and a plan. And she's like, no, there wasn't. She's like, you used what the fans already knew about me. They already knew that I didn't go to your wedding. Right. And she's like, and then they remembered me going to your bridal shower and you laughing about the medical condition, why I couldn't come. She said, so Shamea's like, well, I actually learned this season that that's not the reason you didn't come. It was because we were beefing. I had no idea. Right. And Portia's like, well, you knew the fans, like they would side with you. She thought that, and again, I mean, I don't know that it was that thought out and planned out the way Porsha thinks it was.
Was it? What? And you're on the show. You're a housewife. She's a friend of. Why do you think people are going to side with her? We barely know her.
Right. And then Portia's like, then I hear that you formed an alliance with the other girls to take me down. And she's like, no, you were a part of that. And she's like, no. I don't really think Shamea would have started an alliance with the other girls to take Porsha down. I really don't. I really don't think that
Never
she
in
would
a
do that.
million years.
I don't see
Why
that
in the
happening.
world would she do that?
I don't it doesn't make
No,
sense. It doesn't make
no.
sense, right? Not all those
I
times that
think
she
Shamea
stuck
is
by
just
him.
happy to be there and, for whatever reason before she couldn't be a full-time housewife, now she can, and that's it. And I think she just wanted Portia to be happier for her, and she didn't show that.
Right.
But listen, this was supposed to be like Portia's comeback season, right? Because she hasn't been on and now she's on.
Right.
And now Shamea gets a full-time spot. So it's like stole a little bit of Portia's thunder about coming back.
Porsha maintains that she absolutely was not a part of any alliance, and why would she be a part of it with Kelli and Britt? She didn't even know them. Like, why would she be a part of it? Andy said, Shamea, you said you would. Oh, that's when she says about moving forward. Porsha keeps maintaining that you're lying, that Shamea is lying, and that's the thing that I don't understand, because then she says
About the alliance.
about everything. About the alliance is one thing, and she said, I've been lying about. She said, you posted something about my mom. Porsha said, what your mom did to my mom was highly egregious. And Andy said, what happened? So it's about the mom and it's about the alliance, I think. And I do think that there's some lying going on, because Porsha said that she was beefing with her when way back when she said it was a medical condition.
Right.
So, like,
Portia's a liar. Portia's been caught in lies now.
but she's
I don't
maintaining
think
that
Shamea has.
she's maintaining that Shamea is the liar. And I don't think that, I mean, I don't know what Shamea would be lying about. Like, I don't think that she would plan to take Porsha down. It doesn't make any sense. It
No,
doesn't make any
I don't
sense.
yeah, I don't believe it at all.
And I can't
I think
imagine what the beef is between the moms.
well, listen, we saw what Miss Diane said. We saw what she said.
What did she
You
say?
gotta be careful of Shamea.
Yeah,
You gotta
but
be
we don't.
careful of the dog that brings the bone. I mean, first of all, you called a woman a dog,
Yeah,
Diane. Like, get your shit together.
we did see that, but we don't know what it's about, though. We don't know why that was said. So there is some beef between the moms, but we don't know what it's about.
I hope we find out. Not that
Well,
it's any of our business, but if this is really what's going on, then tell us.
Well, that's how it ends with Andy says, what happened? And then we have to wait till next week to see what happens.
Right.
So this was exhausting. This reunion
This
was
was
exhausting.
exhausting. I couldn't understand what they were saying half the time. They're all yelling over each other. It's like they're speaking a different language.
It is like they're speaking to, and I actually went back to watch the after show from the last, because there was only 10 after shows, but the last after show I hadn't seen, and they were talking about a bunch of different stuff. But watching the after show was even more of a disaster than watching this, because they're really talking over each other on the after show. Like, they're literally talking over each other. I'm like, what? Like, why is
What are they
nobody in charge?
saying?
Why is nobody in charge here on this after show? Like, somebody needs to tell them, one person talk at a time.
Right.
It
Right.
was insane. Like, and I didn't learn anything more. Like, I didn't get any more clarity. I thought, oh, maybe I can get some more clarity if I see this. Nope, didn't get any more clarity. So we're gonna have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the last episode. If we find out what Portia's mom and Shamea's mom's beef is about, and why they're bringing the kids into it. I mean, the kids are adults, but still, I don't like it.
No, me neither. Me neither at all.
I don't like it. So I guess until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.